It's cold outside. This week it's supposed to get down to 2 degrees, and we full-time camping. If you are a full-time camper, we're going to tell you how to deal with it, how to get through it, what you need as far as equipment to handle the cold weather. If you notice that your furnace ain't keeping up, there's a reason for it. We're going to explain it right here on Hanging with the Hazes. There's nothing worse than going to bed and everything looks peachy. And then all of a sudden, you wake up and this is what you dealing with. Yeah, full timing and snow don't seem like it go together. But I'm telling you right now, if you plan and you do it right, all of this becomes a fun adventure and not a nightmare. So if you're full-time camping anywhere in the north, get one of these, okay? You have to have a heated water hose. And the reason is very simple. You don't want to get into a situation where you don't have any running water. Now, you can fill your tanks. The problem is making sure that they get full after you use the water. So a good heated water hose prevents all of that madness. Simply plug it into an outlet, put one end on the spigot, the other end on the RV, and as the temperature drops below 35 degrees, the heater comes on, the heat tape heats the hose, bada bing, bada boom, you got flowing water. There's nothing worse than waking up in the morning and you need to wash your aspirin and you ain't got no water because your hose done froze up. Don't let that be you. Make sure you get a heated hose. You can grab this one for $67 right there on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the bio or the description there so that you can go and pick one up. There are many of them out there. I'm going to be personally, perfectly honest with you. Stay away from Camcos. A lot of those have failures, and if you use it every day, a failure is not an option. The third option actually is just make your own. Get you a nice piece of plumber's foam, run a piece of heat tape down it, put that around your hose. A nice 2-inch piece will do. You use how many sections you need. That's what I have. I've had it now for 5 years. Hooked up, never a problem. But again, this one right here that I'm showing you on Amazon works just fine, and it ain't a bad price. So make sure you got a good heated water hose. Now, this is more of a tip than anything. Don't ever, ever, ever leave your sewer hose connected, and never, ever leave your tanks open, your gray tank or your black tank. The reason is very simple. Once you get down into the mid-20s, any gray water that's flowing through your sewer system freezes, okay? The pipe itself is going to become a big, long chunk of ice. It takes forever. So let's just say, for instance, you leave your gray tank open. That water flows and starts to freeze, fills up the pipe, and now it's a solid block of ice. Where does that water go? The answer is simple: nowhere. It ends up backing up into your shower. Once that happens, you got 2 problems. One, if you don't have a spare hose, you're screwed because you can't empty your tanks. Second thing that happens, you potentially run the risk of flooding your unit. Here is what you do. You disconnect the hose completely, make sure it's completely empty of water, and just lay it out there, out of the snow. Just somewhere where it can, just be there. The second thing you want to do is make sure that you close both your black tank, of course, and your gray water tank. Store the water. When you're ready to dump, connect everything, empty the tanks, close the valves again, and then take that hose off and put it somewhere secure. That is what you do when you are winter camping, because anything else is liquid suicide. All right, so to answer the question that we mentioned in the opening, why does your furnace not keep up? Well, it's very simple. A furnace or an air conditioning unit has a rating on it. It's called a BTU, which stands for British Thermal Units. And what that simply means is that your air conditioner or heater can transfer or move X amount of, let's call it heating energy, air energy, whatever. that it can remove or add that many units of energy per hour. Now, the average motorhome, Class A, typically has 2 of those units. One in the front, one in the back, about 15,000 BTUs or so, give or take. Now, the colder it is, the more cold air comes in through cracks or whatever the case is. The reason that your furnace cannot keep up below 20 degrees is because that cold air is happening faster than your furnace can produce the heat. There's nothing wrong with your furnace. Nothing is broken. But it simply cannot replace the air faster than what the air is coming in. With that being said, here is what you do to counter that. You have to add some type of auxiliary heat, like a Mr. Buddy with a propane, a space heater, or something like that. Here's the problem with those 2 items. The propane in your unit, bad idea. The using of like a space heater or a ceramic heater, not a good idea for the electrical system. The propane, I assume it's obvious, you don't want propane inside. However, if they are used intermittently and while somebody is present, like an adult that can actually handle the situation should it become one, those 2 things can help, especially overnight, so that you are not burning up propane out of your big tank if you have one connected and you're full timing. And it will take the chill off enough that you can sleep comfortable. Now, a 30,000 BTU Mr. Buddy running both sides will pretty much take the average 40-foot motorhome to over 90 degrees. So I'm suggesting that you run it on low. And because it does not have to suck air from outside that's cold and, go through the whole exhaust process and all of that, it is able to keep up with super low temperatures. And centrally located in a motorhome, you can pretty much get away with it. Your windows are going to sweat a little bit, but, not that big of a deal. So the bottom line is your units are not bad. If you have a heat pump, forget anything under 40 for the same principle. It's sucking outside air. It's too cold. It can't convert it to heat. And BTUs are probably 8,000 on a heat pump, 15,000 on your propane fired furnace, and up to 30,000 if you use like a Mr. Buddy or some other type of propane fired heating apparatus. So yeah, you might have to supplement it a little bit, but needless to say, we only go through this for a little while. It does not last for months on out. This week, we are talking 2-degree temperatures. Yes, I do have supplemental because, again, you just don't want your furnaces running continuously. And they will run all day trying to displace that cold air that's coming in faster than it can put out the heat. And the last tip I got for you, and definitely not least, don't be out there messing around with your old hind parts and you ain't got a winter coat, a good pair of gloves, and some boots on. Don't be like me. Yeah, I was that fool out there. It's only 7 feet from me to the car. The problem is, at over 45 years old, one slip on that ice, and that's 3 weeks in the emergency room, rehab, and everything else that comes with it. Don't do that to yourself. Good pair of boots, good pair of gloves, and a decent winter coat. Keep them on you at all times if you winter camp. Store them under the coach if you got to, under your trailer, whatever you got. Just store it. If you tent camped in the winter, God bless you, I'm too old for that. Keep it in the trunk of your car. Because I'm going to tell you something. All it takes is for that heat to go out, or you got to go trekking around in this mess, and you done sat there and broke something, and here you messed up for the next couple weeks. Don't do that to yourself. So that's all I got to say. Winter camping is fun, but you just got to make sure you do it right. The other thing you got to do, like and subscribe, hit that button, because we bring in the whole truth and nothing but the truth all summer in 2026. We're going to introduce a new show called Campfire Chronicles, where you hear some of everything. The only thing I'm going to tell you to do is keep them kids to bed, because if Cousin Sandra around, you don't want them to hear none of that. This is Crazy Keon, and you have been hanging with the Hazes.